Hello and welcome to the Red Laugh Riot podcast. My name's Matt.
And I'm Ben.
And what episode are we up to? Season 2, episode 6, right? I believe.
I've got no idea.
We'll go with season 2, episode 6. That sounds about right.
Let's get right into it. This segment's called Reading the Headlines, which is where we go and read some headlines from Reddit, whatever's trending. First headline is from movies, quote-unquote Child's Play. Mark Hamill will be the voice of Chucky in Killer Remake. There you go, that's your news.
Oh.
Have you seen any of the movies?
I don't think I've seen any of that franchise, and I know for a fact that you haven't, since you've said that you've only watched like 2 horror films in your life.
Yeah, that's if you count The Mist, which I don't.
Yeah.
So
that was a bad movie. It was such a bad movie.
Yeah, no good. But honestly, Mark Hamill is a great voice artist, and it's great that he's getting more work on big movies as well.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant. Scrolling down here a bit, you want some politics? Grand jury investigation started by Mueller. Continuing robustly, prosecutor says.
Yeah.
What is this?
It's basically trying to work out whether the Russians interfered in the US election.
Oh yeah, I heard about this.
Which is pretty much pretty obvious that they did, TBH.
Okay.
So yeah, they're trying to work out whether Trump was, because a bunch of Trump's cronies have all been charged with various crimes.
Yeah.
And they're basically trying to work out whether Trump did anything illegal, and then if he did, then it'll be up to the and what I've talked about before is then it'll be up to the Senate to work out whether to impeach him or not.
So they're still doing the impeaching thing. This has been happening for months.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a very long process.
Yeah. I don't even know why we even bothered talking about it. I mean, it's always going to be...
Yeah. Basically, Trump doing dodgy shit as per usual. Nothing's changed.
Nothing more to say, really.
Yeah.
And next up from World News, Bezos investigation finds the Saudis obtained his private data.
Oh.
You heard about this?
No, I
So
haven't.
Somebody's investigated Jeff Bezos, or the other way around. That's pretty frightening.
Yeah, that's scary.
Interesting.
Because Bezos is he's the founder and the CEO of Amazon.
Yeah.
And he's the richest guy in the world.
Yeah, he is now.
And so damn, if his information's been stolen, because that's such if your information gets stolen, you're basically stuffed, right?
Right.
Because especially if they get access to your bank account, stuff like that, then you're just gone. They can basically do whatever they want, really.
Yeah.
Apparently there's apparently you can buy because a bunch of data leaks always happen. I remember reading this. Since data leaks, massive data leaks happen all the time, and a lot of the time the companies in charge of it sweep it under the rug.
Right.
And so there's stories of people who the hackers basically putting up people's information up on the dark web and that for sale.
Yeah.
So you can buy people's social security numbers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is
that's crazy.
Messed up as hell. Oh damn.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people kind of assume the internet's super safe and whatever. But I mean, I wonder if it's just because he's a big name, they've gone specifically for him. And a lot of people would think, well, they'd never do that to me because I'm just some random.
Yeah.
But there are people that will just completely try and scrape out information of just tons of accounts at once.
I mean, the data leak's a good example of that I was talking about before. And then also, it's really interesting as well. I can't remember who does it, but they do it every year. They release the top 10 most common passwords, and they're basically if you've got one of these passwords, change it.
Is number one password?
It's usually up there, yeah. And it's yo, change your password to something.
Yeah.
Internet security 101 sort of.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you should
have a ridiculously simple password.
In this day, you shouldn't even need to remember your passwords because you should just use a password manager that encrypts it for you, and you have a different, completely unique password for everything. Yeah. It's kind of sad that I don't know, a lot of people don't know about that kind of thing, and it just makes life so much easier. Yeah. Well, speaking of absolutely nothing that we were just talking about.
To internet security to music videos. Our next segment is called Top 5, and today we're going to count down top 5 music videos. As per mentioned, this segment is semi-inspired by the film High Fidelity, where they make their own top 5 lists throughout the movie. So this week it's top 5 music videos. I'm going to go first, and Ben is going to go second, and we're going to go back and forth one at a time. Here we go. All right. So here's what I did, right? Because like Matt always does, he likes to break it down. He likes to break down topics, right?
Oh, yeah.
He breaks down the topics, and then to make it more interesting, right? So the first like type of music video I think there has been is a performance music video.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Yep.
Right. So when the like band or the artist or whatever are performing it, right? That's a performance music video, which makes a lot of sense, right? So my number 5 pick is actually, I believe, the first music video, or at least the music video that made music videos become a thing, and that's Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen.
Is that really the first?
Apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
That seems very hard to believe.
Like, well, pre-1970s, it really wasn't a thing. And then
Really?
it sort of became a thing from, like, MTV and stuff sort of popularized
That's
the
crazy.
music video, and sort of music videos were more of a huge thing in the 90s, I'd say,
Oh, yeah, I guess so.
with the popularization of
Yeah.
MTV.
What about, wait, when was ABBA around? Weren't they in the 70s? I just remember seeing some of ABBA music videos as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was before or after.
I don't know either, but I've heard, like, Queen, like Bohemian Rhapsody and Queen are like the reason why
Right.
music videos are a thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and so obviously, the music video for Bohemian Rhapsody is just amazing, because also it's just an amazing song,
Well.
so that helps.
Debatable.
Bohemian Rhapsody, mate.
I personally hate the song.
An amazing song. It's like one of the greatest songs ever written.
Yeah, nah.
Nah,
I
not
just,
your cup of tea.
it's just,
It's like 3 different songs in one.
that's kind of why I hate it.
That's why you hate it.
Yeah, it's just like, it
It's
doesn't,
like
it's
make
just,
up your mind.
It's just a musical experiment more than a song. To me,
Right.
it's just like so different that it's popular,
Right.
but that's not a good reason, in my opinion,
Okay.
for something,
Right.
that doesn't make it good.
I just
So
think
it's
it's
different.
I think it's amazing because it shows off basically Mercury's insane vocal range, and sort of shows why Mercury is probably the greatest vocalist of all time.
Okay, sure.
That'd be my argument.
Sure. I feel like it's just overrated. Like, it's overhyped
Yeah.
by everyone,
Yeah.
especially these days. Like,
Yeah.
everyone's just like, oh, it's just like the best song ever. Okay, I don't think anyone says that.
Yeah.
Anyone who talks like that probably doesn't know who Queen is, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. Very true. What have you put as your what is your cup of tea then? Number 5 cup of tea for
well,
for
Here we
Ben
go.
Close.
Hot take here. I do not like music videos,
Yeah.
like, in general. Usually, at least in terms of the music, I don't find it to be a enjoyable way to experience music, especially for the first time. Every time I hear a song for the first time by watching the music video, I don't like the song as much. It just, like, isn't the right way to experience that for me,
Right.
I don't think. And there are a lot of music videos that I like because they're cool videos,
Yeah.
but they're not cool music videos. Does that make sense? They're like cool videos that just have music
Yeah.
behind them. And one example is Up and Up by Coldplay. That's a real cool video.
Yeah.
That's like one of my honorable mentions, I guess. But, like, I wouldn't say it's a cool music video because it doesn't enhance the music or tell necessarily, like, get that song across to you and do it. The purpose of that, I guess. I mean, the purpose of a music video, the way I've heard it described, is just something that you can have your eyes on while you hear the music, which I don't think is what a music video should be.
Right.
I think it should literally, like, make you hear the music better. I don't know if that makes sense because you're listening to the exact same audio, I know, but like,
Yeah.
it should enhance the actual song or experience, or, like, I don't know, but instead it just tends to be distracting, and
Right.
it takes me away from the song, and so I don't really like that. But having said all that, there are a few music videos that I somewhat think are cool or enjoy, and here are some of them. Starting off with number 5, The Pretender by the Foo Fighters.
Oh, good pick.
It's
Good
probably one of the earliest music videos I actually remember even watching. And this one's really simple, which is, I like the more simple ones generally. And it's also like a performance one as well, but it's got some fun stuff in it as well. So basically, if you haven't seen it, it's just the band in this large white room playing a song. And what I love, in the first, like, 10 seconds of it, you just get, like, so many cuts to different angles and camera
Yeah.
movements. So the cutting and the camera movements is just so jarring,
Yeah.
and that is like feels like the song. It feels like it's not just cut to the beat or anything. It's like it's messing
Yeah.
with your head a little bit.
I mean, it's quite an abrasive song.
Yeah, and
especially
then
with Grohl's like screaming that he does.
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
track as well.
and then like at the end, like this red background like bursts out.
Yeah.
And this red liquid like comes out and drains everyone. It's great. It's just like a simple concept that's cool, I guess, and it's not distracting. Like it feels like I am here to listen to the song. I'm not here to be distracted or to see fancy visuals, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So I like that. There
Fair
you
enough. All right. So the other type of music video, right, I believe there is the animated music video. And so...
Is this... You're saying there's only 2 types, performance and animated?
No, there's 5 types.
Oh, 5 types. Oh, well, I've done one of each type.
Yep.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Because then you get a more varied list.
I see.
All right. So number 4 is Aha's Take On Me, which is... You probably know the music video. It's the one with like sketches, like sketchbook.
I know the song, but I don't think I know the music video.
Huh? So it's basically like all like sketched, like but it's basically like it looks like if they've made it look like it's like a sketchbook and it's like all animated, and so there's that type of thing going on, which I really haven't seen that type of animation style ever been done before.
Is it stop motion, like they actually drew in a sketchbook, or is it just made to look like that?
I think it's just made to look like that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not very smart when it comes to animation, so there's a good chance that I'm just like, it looks cool.
Yeah.
So that's why it's on the list.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I know. It was just like, I've never seen that style before, and it's actually a pretty cool music video.
Right.
Just how they shot it and that animation style, like I said, is really cool and really engaging and sort of something a little bit different. Because I think the thing with music videos is, I don't think I necessarily, most of the time with music videos, I'm sort of like meh on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And half the time I don't actually watch the music video. Half the time I have the music playing, right? Like it's a music video, but I just have it like
Yeah.
off to the
it's
side
'cause you
or
listen to music on
into
YouTube,
another
right?
tab or opening another tab,
Yeah.
listening to whatever the track is, right? And then, yeah, but I also listen to vinyl, Ben, so
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It's whatever I feel like listening to, I'll listen to it, Ben.
Do most of the time you just click the music video, or do you click lyric videos, or
Depends.
because how many times have you been listening and like having a tab open in the background, listen to a song,
Yeah.
and the music video like stops halfway through, and there's like a whole like filmed scene with like actors and
Not very
talking and
often.
stuff. Really?
Well, at
That would
least
bother me so much
well, at
because
least
I
not
know there
the-
are so many music videos that do that, and for me that like ruins the flow.
Yeah, no, that's
so
fair enough.
much.
I do not like it when music videos
Yeah.
do that. Yeah, but
Yeah.
most of the stuff I listen to, that hasn't happened.
Right.
Or if I find a song that it does happen in, then I'll find a lyric video version.
Right.
So then I don't get the
Yeah.
weird cutout for 3 minutes or whatever long
Yeah.
the thing is.
Well, having said that, there's my number 4 actually
Has a giant cutout.
has giant cuts in the middle. Actually, I don't know why, but this particular video, I don't mind it because in this video, this is one of the only videos that I don't watch because I want to hear the song. This video is a video that is there to tell a story first and foremost, which is kind of its own thing. It doesn't feel like a music video, if that makes sense. It feels like it's just
Right.
a short film. It feels like a short film, like with the song sliced into it, you know?
Yeah.
And that's Wake Me Up When September Ends by Green Day.
Good pick again.
Again, one of the earliest videos I've seen. I remember just when it was popping up on, what was the channel back in the day? Was it C4? The TV channel that played
Yeah.
music?
Yeah.
It would like
C4.
play on the, they used to play music videos. And I always remember this one like stood out to me because it told like this really engaging story, and I watched it again last night, and it's just like a really beautiful story, and I actually don't mind that there's like a minute at the start before any music plays,
Yeah.
and then in the middle there's like a little bit as
Little
well.
Brief interlude.
Although the
yeah.
brief bit in the middle, I felt like the dialogue was really repetitive and a bit too unnecessary there,
Yeah.
but it got the point across, and the story itself and the way it's told visually as well, I really like that. So there I am, completely disregarding, contradicting myself a little bit there. But that's the only exception I've ever found in music video history that I've actually enjoyed. The fact that it had an interruption.
Had a sort of interruption interlude, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. The third type of music video, Ben, is a concept video.
Mm-hmm.
So my concept videos are really hard to explain, so I'm just going to say my pick, and hopefully that will explain it. Okay goes, here we go again.
Oh, yeah.
So it's the one where the band's basically on a bunch of what they call treadmills that are like placed rear to rear, and then they like jump across the treadmills. Yeah. So then they jump across it, and the choreography of it's pretty cool. And I'm like, yo, I haven't seen that done before. And like, I don't know, I just reckon it's really cool. And I'm like, hey, that's dope. And it's like, yeah, so it's just really cool seeing that. And just a different, something different other than the typical music video, which is a band or the singer in an empty room singing or playing the music.
Yeah.
Which is what you see all the damn time, right?
Yeah.
So it's just something different. That's not, that's different from the norm, because I think that's probably my biggest gripe, for lack of a better word, with music videos, is I'm not a big fan of the performance music videos because it's so oversaturated.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's my number 3 pick.
Yeah, Okay was one of my honorable mentions. Like, in general, all of their videos are like that. They're like a cool concept, always like done in like one take or something crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you seen the one where they're in the airplane?
I think so, yeah.
And they like go down and like they're in like zero gravity while they film. Oh,
yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
How they did it. And so all their videos, I guess, are really cool. But like I kind of was saying before, they're all really cool videos. And no one ever goes to their videos to hear the music. They go because they made a cool video. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe it's good for them. I mean, it gets them publicity, but it's like, it doesn't feel like it's doing something for the music.
Right.
It's just doing something for them in their videos, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Not saying I don't like it. I like the videos. My number 3 then
Yeah.
is Still Feel Like Your Man by John Mayer.
Hey.
And what's the A?
I knew there had to be a John Mayer.
Oh, I see. I see. Of course. Yeah. This one, I don't know why I like this one so much, to be honest. It's really random. It's really crazy. And like, I guess I'm doing another thing. It's like I'm kind of contradicting myself with like all of these, because all music videos are distracting, and I don't like that fact about most music videos.
Right.
The reason I chose this one is because it feels like John made like his own video. Like, this is his video and he's doing what he wants. And this is because like his last album and everything after that has been away from a label, I think.
Yeah.
Meaning that he's like doing his own thing and he's not kind of held down by any restriction. And that like means that anything that's in his videos is like purely him. It's purely his ideas and stuff. Or maybe someone else's ideas, but he's like enjoying it and doing it. And it's this random like video where he's like dancing with these like pandas in the background, and it's like really well like choreographed and stuff. And one thing I really like about it is there's this girl in the background that is like, you can't quite see if like its face, like it's not like quite lit properly, but it's quite beautiful, I guess, because it's like really clearly like a girl that looks like Katy Perry.
Yeah.
But it's obviously not her, but it's meant to be her, because that's what the song's about.
Yeah.
Quite obviously. But then also the song has duplicate meanings, I guess, as well, because of other stuff that happens in the video. So like he's like dancing in front of this guy that looks like it's the lady's like dad, and he's like asking for his approval or whatever. And at the end, like the dad's impressed or whatever, and he chucks him this box, and like it looks like what is that? Is that like a wedding ring, engagement ring or something like that? Because it like kind of feels like that's what the song's leading towards. And then it's he opens the box and it's like some earphones. So it's like this almost duplicate meaning of like him also talking about music as well, because if you listen to the lyrics, like and also this is like when he was coming back to, like, it was a long time since he'd made music between this song coming out and like previous albums or whatever. So like, I don't know, maybe I'm reading into it too much.
Yeah.
Maybe he just put it in there because it's funny, but I feel like he was telling a really cool like double-ended story of him like realizing how much, I don't know, he still loves music, because a lot of people, after they've had a career as long as he has and have like been as popular as he has, kind of like just trail off and like have all their money and they're happy and they retire and they don't need any more. He's in that position where he doesn't need to keep going, but he does.
Yeah.
And I love that about him, and he's just really passionate about it and just does what he wants. And like another video he put out last year, New Light, is just a total meme of a video. Like, no record label would ever like put that out. Like, it's such a random video, but like he just did it because it was amazing and he loved it.
Yeah.
You know, and like even on when we saw him live a couple of weeks ago, he even said like to us that he's just gonna keep going because what did he say? He says he's gonna keep going until he can't anymore, basically, until his voice is gone completely, or he gets, you know, some condition that means he can't keep playing or whatever. And that's just like really awesome to hear that like he's just really passionate about it and wants to keep going.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've talked about this song for way too long.
Yeah,
but
the best. I think the best example I had with a similar experience to that in a concert experience was when I saw the Foo Fighters live.
Mm-hmm.
And Dave Grohl ran out of when they ran out on stage, they basically said like we're gonna keep playing until they throw us off the stage. Like they had like a 3-hour set or whatever, but they were like, "Nah, we're gonna keep playing until they fucking throw us off." And I'm like, "That's badass."
Did they get thrown off?
Oh, I can't. I think they
Because John said something similar. He said like, what did he say? He said like he's got such a giant catalog, and so he never knows what the audience wants to hear. But then he said, "But it doesn't matter because we've got all night." And I was like, "Oh wow, is he gonna go for like extra long?" He did 2 sets, which is still longer than his normal shows, but he still didn't do any more than he planned. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I was like, are they just saying that
maybe
to make you get hyped, or
Maybe.
you know, do they actually mean it?
I don't know, but it's hard not to get hype with Foo Fighters. And you know what music video is very hype that the Foo Fighters released? Learn to Fly.
Oh yeah, okay.
Which is my number 2. Yeah, I can count. My number 2 pick. And so this is my pick as like the sort of funny, wacky pick because basically it has them all on like a plane and they're playing, the band members Dave Grohl and Taylor Hawkins are playing like various characters like passengers and flight attendants and pilots. And it's just funny. And it's also it's very shocking as well because Taylor Hawkins looks surprisingly good in drag. So that was one of my major takeaways.
Okay.
From the music video. No, it's just a funny music video, and it puts a smile on your face. You know?
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so
yeah, it's worth a gaze. It's just a funny music video where they sort of show that they don't take themselves too seriously.
Mm-hmm.
You know, which I reckon's like pretty important.
Yeah.
So that's my number 2 pick.
Cool. My number 2 pick is probably the least wacky of my picks. Oh, okay. Wake Me Up When Stimmering's not really wacky, but. Anyway, neither is this. It's Fake Happy by Paramore.
Okay.
And this one is just another really beautiful one, I felt like. And it's like really simple. It's a really simplistic thing of Hailey's just walking around town, like in New York or something, which on its own would be really boring and just like every other music video. But what they did is put little smiley faces, like yellow smiley faces on everybody's face in the crowds and everything that she's walking past. And the song, I really love the song, talking about, you know, people putting on this facade, being fake happy. And the way they just, like, did that, like, really simple, let's just put faces on everyone, just showing what people are like. And it just, I don't know, it's just really nice. It's one of the rare music videos that I can enjoy the song in.
Yeah.
Like, and it feels like I'm listening to the song and I'm watching the song, I'm not watching a video, like I was saying before, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So it feels like a good representation of the song as well.
All right. So now it's time for my honorable mentions. So I'm going to rattle them off real quick. Katy Perry's California Girls. It's a good music video, right? Sue me. It's a good music video. And it's a little bit of a banger. Bit of a guilty pleasure, one may say.
I see where you're
not
going
ashamed,
with that.
Not ashamed to say that. Guilty pleasure, right? My next pick is Guns N' Roses' November Rain. Fantastic song. I mean, for a start, it's got 2 guitar solos. 2, and they're amazing. Most songs only have 1 amazing guitar solo, but nah, Guns N' Roses are like, nah, we ain't
most
gonna do
songs
that, team.
don't have any, but
Yeah.
rock. I know what you mean.
Rock songs.
I know what you mean.
Which is, 90% of the music I listen to probably is rock. Yeah, so Guns N' Roses, November Rain. And it's also really cool because, like, it sort of tells, like, this full-on, like, because the song's so massive as well that it, like, sort of tells us, like, really, like, the visuals are just really cool and interesting. So it sort of has, like, a rough, like, sort of a mixture between, like, a narrative music video and, like, a concept music video, which I reckon is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
My next pick is White Stripes' Seven Nation Army. I mean, for a start, Seven Nation Army, fantastic song. I mean, that bass line. Well, actually, it's not a bass line because it's played on a guitar, but he's got like 4 effects on it that makes it sound like a bass. Fun facts there, by the way. Yeah, no. Yeah, it's like such a dope music video, and I don't think it really distracts from the song. Maybe that's because the major thing that I take away from Seven Nation Army is every single time is the bass line.
Right.
It's just, like, what an amazing bass line. That's all I can say. My next pick is sort of my other animation pick, and that's Feels Like Summer by Childish Gambino. Dope song, like really like encapsulates the like summer feeling, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know, just a really cool song and just a really chilled out song. And then the music video as well is just really cool because it's basically just like animated Childish Gambino walking through this like town.
Right.
And then just shows like a bunch of like, you know, like summer, basically what people do in summer, you know?
Uh-huh.
So that's my fourth honorable mention. And my final honorable mention is Kendrick Lamar's Humble, which is just amazing music video. I think it actually won a couple of music video awards from memory and totally deserved it because it's just insane, like really cool effects and that. Just really cool music videos. Yeah. So those are my honorable mentions.
Well, as a hater of music videos, I don't have many. I have a couple that I haven't already mentioned. Shut Up and Let Me Go by the Ting Tings. It's just, I don't know, it's just a cool, this one's just one of those videos that's just like cool and it's fun because they're a band that were like real experimental, at least with this album, and it's just like a cool experimental fun visual video, I guess. And it's like, it's a distracting one. It does take you away from the song a bit, I guess. And but it's also really simple, you know what I mean, at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's not too distracting. I don't know. Like I said, it's hard for me to talk about music videos in a positive way because I dislike most of them.
I find it funny because it seems that you've talked about the music videos a lot each time that we've gone back and forth. You've talked longer.
I think
these
it's
in-depth things, and I'm just like, it's a cool music video, number 5.
I think it's because I have so little to say that I'm trying to force myself to say a lot, if that makes sense. But anyway, moving on. This one actually I do have things to say about. Gallery by Candace Milner. And the only reason this one's not on my actual top 5 is because I didn't want to be biased. I actually know this person, went to high school with her, and yeah, I love the song and I love this video because it's not quite one take, but it's like made to look like one take. It's actually 3 takes cut together, obviously, and it's just really beautiful. I found it to be really beautiful, and I don't know if you're getting any themes, but I really like the beautiful music videos. Literally, the only one that wasn't is like The Pretender, and that's just like a fun one. But again, that's kind of like, it's still emotive in a way with the the editing and stuff. But yeah, Gallery, check it out, I guess. I don't know.
All right, it's my number 1 pick. Okay, so it has to be none other than Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Okay, yep.
Commonly associated as one of the greatest music videos of all
that
time.
one I will agree with.
Okay, so like I was talking about narrative picks before, and this is sort of was my narrative pick because it tells a story, right?
Yeah.
Like guy and a girl get lost in like graveyard thingy, bunch of zombies come out, bam, now they're zombies, right? And that's the story, right? Pretty clear narrative. And then so you've got that. You've also got the fact that it's just an iconic song, an iconic music video, iconic costumes, iconic choreography, just completely iconic, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like amazing. So, I think if you walked up to a majority of people on the streets and said, what's the best music video of all time? A good proportion would probably, Michael Jackson would have to be in that conversation.
Right.
Yeah, so that's my number 1 pick.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
My number 1 pick, like I said, I find it hard to talk about videos. So this one, I'm actually just going to play it for you because it kind of speaks for itself.
Yep.
That took too long to load. Sorry. And like, of course I've done this before, I've talked about this video before. Why is this my favorite music video? Go back and listen to our episode on our top 5 favorite memes, and you'll hear how much I love the Rickroll.
I think that was season 2, episode 4, I believe.
You're too good at remembering things. Either that, or you're really bad and it was actually episode 3.
Maybe, who knows?
Someone will correct us, or you'll just go and look and find out, because it's in the title, I think. I can't remember. Anyway, I love this music video because it's my favorite meme, and I love rickrolling people, and that's why it's my favorite video. Favorite music video.
just
I
so you
mean,
can meme out.
Yeah, and it genuinely is, because it's more than just a music video at this
Right.
point. It's a tool for
Yeah.
my creative pranks, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is it even creative anymore? I don't know. It's my favorite meme. It's my favorite music video. What else is there to say?
Yeah. I wonder if my number one pick would get any flack because of the recent allegations that have come out about Michael Jackson.
Well, I'd love you to enlighten me because I actually really don't know much about the situation
You
at all.
don't know much. All right. So I've done some research, watched the documentary Leaving Neverland, as well as just like prior knowledge of the case as well. So basically, Leaving Neverland follows, it's basically like sort of interviews two men who have since come out alleging that they were sexually abused by Michael Jackson. So you've got that. And that's basically the entire documentary basically just focuses on this story of what happened, how it happened, like the lead up to it, the actual event, and then sort of fallout, I guess, after it. So you've got that. Then you've also got the fact that I believe it was 1993, Michael Jackson settled out of court for, I believe it was $15 million with someone who alleged... with a child who alleged that he was sexually abused by Michael Jackson.
Right.
So we've got that case. Then we have a case in 2005, I believe, where Michael Jackson was tried in a court of law on counts of sexual abuse. And so he was charged, but he was acquitted. He was found innocent.
Yeah.
Or rather found not guilty. And then so this is sort of like the most recent allegations that have sort of come out about it. So it sort of brings up very interesting questions. I mean, the first question is, did he do it? Right? And like,
right.
is it relevant's not the word. Like, is it right to sort of accuse a dead man? You know what I mean? Like someone who can't defend themselves.
Yeah. I don't know.
So it sort of
That
brings
is
up-
an interesting
Yeah,
question.
it brings up those questions. Like, it brings up a lot of questions. I mean, one of them, like, how much do you know about this situation? Like, nothing? Or
Basically nothing. I
Basically
just heard I remember hearing this kind of thing, like this kind of talk years ago.
Yeah, I mean, the talk about it's been around for ages.
Yeah, and then it just kind of blew up just because of this documentary, eh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I basically know nothing.
But yeah, after watching the documentary, I think he did it.
Okay. The documentary, I assume, is made like from the point of view.
Yeah,
Of
it's
he
very
did
much
it
it's
and-
very much biased towards things.
Yeah.
But because here's the thing, I did also read like a lot of information before seeing it as well as after, like sort of watching, because they've sort of been, I don't know, it's this whole thing of like the way they just like there's questions of, well, what do they stand to gain after coming out years after?
Yeah, exactly. That's a good point. Yeah.
Like, they're
Why
not-
would they go to all this effort to ruin a man's reputation when the man's already dead and nothing, he's not earning anything, so
Yeah.
it seems like a lot of effort to make a documentary about it.
Yeah, I know, because the thing is, whenever you hear stories of sexual assault victims, the first thing they do defense-wise is discredit the victim.
Right.
So, like, here's the thing, is the thing that makes sexual assault cases so hard to prosecute, because very rarely do victims come out
Yeah.
about it. B, when they do, it usually takes years and years after because of the emotional trauma associated with the event. C, because there's such a long time between them coming out and the event, there's no real physical evidence.
Yeah.
Like a murder, for example, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
with a murder, there's usually a body, there's a weapon,
Yeah.
there's DNA evidence, and you don't usually get that with sexual assault cases, so they're very, very hard to prosecute as well.
Right.
In that sense of physical evidence and the like, you couldn't charge Michael Jackson with anything, and that was one of the major reasons why he got off in 2005, because
Right.
there was no physical evidence.
Okay.
But there's very rarely physical evidence
Yeah.
in these cases, so
Yeah.
it brings that problem.
Does that bring up the question that do you think the justice system's flawed in that sense?
I think the justice system is very flawed. It's so difficult to... I mean, we also have this problem with the difference between... In the court of law, right? In the justice system, it's innocent until proven guilty, right?
Well, no, it's not guilty until proven guilty. Just because you're not guilty doesn't mean you're innocent.
Yeah, but that's the saying that's used as innocent until proven guilty,
Well,
right?
it's not guilty until proven guilty. I know what you mean, but yeah, it's subtle difference.
The language that I'm using, though, is the language that they use.
Maybe it's just in the States.
It's innocent until proven guilty.
Maybe it's a United States thing.
I don't know.
In New Zealand, anyway, it's definitely not guilty until proven guilty.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, and so they, so they say that, right?
Yeah.
And so
which is a stupid statement.
You've got that statement. Why do you think it should be the opposite? It should be.
Well,
who
no.
does the burden of proof lie on? Does it?
No. I mean, not guilty until proven guilty makes the most sense.
Right.
But then what I also disagree with is that when you're found not guilty, but there's also enough, like, the thing about a verdict is that, at least with the jury anyway, it's like you have to be beyond reasonably doubt.
Yeah,
like, beyond reasonable doubt, you have to be guilty. But what if there is just only a little bit of reasonable doubt? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
well, can you ever be 100% sure of anything? Yeah,
exactly.
I guess is the sort
so,
of
like,
thing.
I think it's like a real good example was in season 2 of Broadchurch.
Yeah.
When the guy who murdered this kid is on trial, and it's like very evident. Like, maybe it's just because it's from the point of view of us, the viewer. But I would say, like, even to the jury, it's very evident that he did something, or that he was involved, or or that he did it. It's like it's personally evident. Like, you would see it in him and in what's presented.
Yeah.
But then, legally speaking, they don't have the right evidence or whatever. They don't have the enough.
Yeah.
To put that into account. So it just seems daft that when, like, there's so much evidence against you, but not quite enough, you can still be free.
Yeah.
Like, and just go and have a normal life.
Yeah.
'Cause that's what happened. I mean, they kicked him out of the town. Not, like, legally speaking. Like, the community were just like, get out.
Vigilante sort of.
Yeah,
deal,
basically. But still, it's not like...
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm rambling so
it's
hard.
Sort of,
I have no idea what I'm talking about.
It sort of comes down to, though... So we sort of have two camps, though, right? So the legal system says innocent until proven guilty, or not guilty until proven guilty, or whatever, right? But we now have a situation where we have the court of public opinion, right?
Right.
Where just as soon as any news comes out...
It's true.
You know what I mean? It's like they've done it, but
Yeah.
they haven't been brought through that.
Yeah.
So we have this real imbalance, and I don't know what... Okay, so I'm sort of stuck in the middle of this argument in terms of... Because yes, 100% we do need to believe... Like, the biggest thing that people say is believe the victims, you know? Like, we should believe the victims, which is true, 100%. But it's also... But then also, again, you have the thing of not guilty until proven guilty.
Right.
As well. So I don't know what side of the... of that I sort of lean towards. I'm sort of stuck in the middle of that. What do you think in terms of that? Like the court of public opinion sort of thing that's become very apparent in recent years.
I think it's good and bad. It's really good for getting attention, but it's really bad in other ways because, like, imagine if it's not true, then somebody's career is ruined.
Yeah.
You know? Even if it's not true. If it blows up enough and enough people hear about it, like, that person's always going to have that. And maybe it's like the situation where, like, there's some evidence that might suggest that, but other evidence doesn't suggest that, or whatever. Like, even if that person did nothing wrong, if there's enough people on the internet and enough things out there saying that he's done something, then it's just like, well, now what am I going to do with my life?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I think then it brings up the question, though, of if X artist, whether it be an actor or a singer or whatever, it comes out that they've done whatever the case, committed some sort of crime, whether it be sexual assault or murder or whatever, can you then separate the art from the artist? I think is then a very interesting question, because we're in the wake of this whole Michael Jackson thing. A lot of radio stations in New Zealand, Australia, and Canada, I believe, have pulled his music.
Really? Okay.
So, like, that's been like a reaction as well. So what do you think? Can you separate the art from the artist?
I think I can sort of understand pulling his music from the radio, because there are some people who are okay with it and some people who aren't. And if you're listening to the radio and you don't have the choice of what songs you're listening to, it's not fair to hear what you don't want to listen to, I guess. And so I can understand why they would pull it from radio. But, like, they're not going to pull it from Spotify, you know? So it's still out there for you to listen to if it's your choice. So I think it's more like...
avenues, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess in the case of the radio, it does make sense. It's actually a good idea. At least while this whole thing is happening, maybe
Yeah.
later down the track, it won't be as relevant, so they'll just put it back on.
Maybe.
Because I guess in some ways it's like a publicity thing, right?
Yeah.
Like that radio station gets more listeners because they're supporting a certain idea or whatever. But I still love Michael Jackson's music, and I don't think his music has anything to do with his personal
No.
actions.
Yeah.
Like, at least as far as I'm aware, that none of that comes through in the music. Like it's a completely separate event
Yeah.
to me. And the same thing with actors in Hollywood and stuff, and producers and all that kind of people who get messed up in that stuff. And that, you've seen heaps of that stuff coming out in the last year or so.
Yeah.
Kevin Spacey is a great example for me because
Yeah.
I love him as an actor.
Yeah.
And I think he does some great work. But then, when he has no more career and everyone hates him, it's just like, do I not watch those movies anymore? I mean, Baby Driver is my third favorite film of all time.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
just not watch the movie, and I don't know. I don't not enjoy it. I don't think my enjoyment of the movie is affected by it.
Yeah.
I think it's just I wouldn't pay to see another one of his movies if he ever did one.
Right.
If he was the main actor, I guess. I don't want to support him, I guess. I don't want to support. I was about to say, I don't want to support Michael Jackson, but he's not even around anymore, so it's not like I have to worry about that.
I think the interesting thing is, as well though, in the wake of it, I think there's been a 10% increase in the sales of his music.
Really?
I read somewhere, yeah, there's been an increase, 10% increase.
That's weird.
The sales, and because also Michael Jackson has been consistently since he died, the number one earning, for his estate.
I see.
Yeah. Earning dead celebrity, which is
Yeah.
insane as well.
Well, I don't have a problem. I guess because he's dead, I don't have a problem with his family
Yeah, because it's
Or
his family getting the
earning money
isn't it?
because they did
Yeah.
nothing wrong.
Yeah.
So what's wrong with that? I don't know. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But yeah, like I was kind of saying before, it doesn't affect me. It doesn't affect my experience of watching them or listening to them.
Yeah.
And I still really enjoy it regardless.
Yeah, I think I'm on the same side of the fence as well. I think you can definitely separate the art from the artist.
Having said that, I can understand people who can't. I
Yeah.
can understand people who just feel sick watching a Kevin Spacey movie, or I can't think of any other examples right now.
Yeah,
But, you know.
I mean, having said that, I've recently when I've been watching a movie and I saw the Weinstein Company
Yeah.
logo come up,
Yeah.
sort of my stomach dropped a little bit. you know?
Right.
I was like, ooh, but it
He
wasn't
was,
enough to.
yeah.
It wasn't enough to ruin the film for
Maybe
me.
it depends on a case by case basis. Harvey Weinstein was really bad.
Yeah, that's a really bad case.
he was the worst example. He was doing it all the time, for his own benefit and all that kind of thing. Whereas there are other cases where maybe only one event happened or something.
Yeah.
And it was a one-time thing, and you kind of look back and say, I actually understand some of those cases because humans make mistakes, and it's a terrible thing.
Oh yeah, it's a very terrible mistake, but
But in the case of Weinstein, he knew what he was doing and he wasn't sorry for it.
yeah.
Whereas there are other people who are sorry for what they've done, and I'm not saying they should still get work, but
yeah. And then
it's
there's
not as
also I've also heard of very tricky situations as well where someone's had sex with someone who's underage, but they didn't know that the person was underage
okay.
and stuff like that. But then they still get labelled
Right.
you know how there's the
Yeah.
registry. They're registered as a sex offender.
Yeah.
They didn't know that they were committing an offence.
Yeah,
They
I mean,
thought they were fine, and then
yeah.
so it's you can get into
To
very
be honest,
dicey situations.
I think that's totally fair. If you don't know how old someone is
Yeah.
and you're gonna do that, then what are you even doing? you should know how old they are. You can find out very easily,
Yeah.
unless they were unless they lied to them.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, is that what happened?
There's definitely cases
Okay.
where people
Maybe that's slightly different if they were lied to. But I don't know. It's pretty easy to commit crime without knowing it.
yeah.
I guess I don't think that stops you from being a criminal.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I mean, obviously a judge and jury might see your case and whatever, because every case is still given a punishment depending on your intent and stuff as well. So it's
Yeah.
you did something wrong, but we're not going to punish you that hard because we know why.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's always case by case. I have no idea where we came from. That we just talked for so long.
I think we both basically are very much on the same page. There's
Yeah.
not much.
It's not like Marvel or anything.
Yeah, it's not like Marvel.
We can
Oh,
argue
okay,
for
hang
days.
on. Okay, I've come up with a defense for me in regards to Marvel. Okay,
Oh really?
yeah. Here's my defense.
Sure.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
For me, how I view Marvel, how I view the MCU is probably very similar to how you view sport, like the World Cup,
Yep.
or whatever, right?
Yep.
When the World Cup comes around, how many games do you see in the World Cup? Do you see every game
Me
that New Zealand
personally?
plays? Yeah.
I watched 0 games.
You watch 0 games?
Yeah.
All right. So, if I have 0 interest in it, then why should I watch it?
You shouldn't. I don't have a problem.
That's my point.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with you not watching the movies. My problem is you watching them and then saying you hate them.
I don't say I hate them. I just say they're okay.
You said
No, I said Infinity War was a bad film.
exactly
Because it's a bad film.
because you've not seen the movies that come before it, and so you're in the wrong position, right? That would be like if I go and watch the World Cup final and it's the only match I watch and I think it's unfair that this team and this team were in there, and like I was like, oh, that's dumb, they didn't deserve to win or whatever, even though I hadn't seen like previous
that doesn't make
teams
any
play.
sense.
Yes, it does.
No, because if you sit down to a final, right?
Yeah.
You know for a fact that they are the 2 best teams, and that's why they got to the final.
No, but what if I disagree with that because I haven't seen any of the previous matches and I didn't see them play?
Well, in this scenario, you have no knowledge of how sports work, which is a complete different situation.
Right, maybe it's a bad analogy, but you know what I mean, right? You can't just go into the better analogy is saying watching the season finale of something without watching the previous episodes, right?
Yeah.
That's what I was like. You understand that, right?
Yeah.
You understand that aspect,
Yeah.
right? I have no problem with you not watching the movies or saying you don't like the movies if you're watching all of the movies, but you're not watching all of them. Like, and okay, I also understand, like, there's too many movies. Well, just don't watch them. Make your mind up. And
So wait, so my options are...
No, okay.
Are
Okay,
my
now here are your
options to
options.
either-
You got 3 options.
Yeah.
Let me get, you got 3 options.
What are my options?
Option 1, you watch them all so that you can understand them all.
Fuck that.
Option 2, you watch none of them because you don't want to anyway.
Yeah.
Option 3, you watch them like you do, but then you have no right to make an opinion on them.
Alright. I'm gonna pick number 4, which is cherry pick the ones that I want to watch, and then I'm gonna complain anyway.
There's no winning in this.
Do you know why?
There's no winning in this.
Do you know why?
Why?
Because it's a free country.
Um.
I get to do what I want.
Yeah. Well, not quite.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't do what you want. I mean, you can. You just will be punished for certain things that you do,
Yeah. But like
as we've been discussing.
that situation. Are we comparing me watching, saying Infinity War is a bad movie to someone
No.
committing sexual
No,
assault?
I'm not comparing those 2 things at all. I'm just saying you said the phrase, I can do what I want, which is not true. Well, no, it's not true. You can't
Well,
fly. If you want to fly, you can't.
I can try. It
Yeah.
may not end well.
No, it will not. And you will not physically be flying for any of that journey.
Yeah, true.
So-
True.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
Man, we're really good at getting off topic.
Yeah. Time for what you're doing, I guess.
I guess so. This entire podcast
You're
has
just
been,
too out of it.
I feel like a total blunder. I just got off a plane and I came here like an hour after I got, or maybe 2 hours after I got off the plane. But now then we're going to move on to the next segment of the podcast, which is...
What you doing?
And of course, that's the segment of the podcast where we talk about what we have been doing and watching and reading and all that good stuff.
Indeed.
And what have I been doing? I've been watching The Dragon Prince on Netflix. And I remember ages ago I said I was going to watch this. And it was one of those shows where I was like, I'll get around to it. I've got
Yeah.
other stuff I'd rather watch. And I don't know why I didn't watch it, because it's so good. It's such a fantastic, lovely show. And it really reminds me of The Last Airbender. It kind of feels like that magical vibe that I used to have
Right.
watching that show for the first time. Because some of the writers are like the same in this show as well, I think. And first season especially is just really great. Like, it's just a really great, fun, magical story that you love. Second season's slightly less interesting, I guess. Not quite as up there.
Right.
And overall, over the whole, both of it, actually, I found there's a lot of moments in the pacing. Like, there's a lot of real bad pacing, especially with telling jokes. The timing is real bad, like, in a few instances. Do you know what I mean by pacing?
Yeah.
So it's like in the editing where, like...
Yeah, I know what pacing is.
Yeah. Well, not... Okay, so
Are you
for
explaining for the...
for everyone else. So, like, in the editing where, like, if you're telling a joke, like, a really good example is, like, with a joke, because you know when a joke is told badly. And it's, like, just small moments that, like, take too long or stretch out for too long, and it makes that joke not funny or whatever. that kind of thing.
Yeah,
I'm explaining this real badly. Go look up YouTube. What is pacing explained? Because I'm not very good at explaining it. Also, in terms of the episodes, they're always intercutting between like these different, parallel stories, but it happens too often and it breaks up the flow of certain scenes a lot, and it happens throughout the whole show, and it really bugs me.
Right.
They're like, a lot of the shows do intercutting really well. One example is the last episode of The Last Airbender, where there's like 3 different battles going on at the same time.
Yeah.
But it's always done at the right moment, and you never like have this massive like build up and then cut away, and then you don't see where it was going or anything. Or like it's done in a way that works for the structure of it anyway. Whereas in the Dragon Prince, like, they just do it because they're like got a stopwatch and they're saying, oh, it's been 2 minutes, we got to swap back, and it just breaks the flow, and it's just no good. And they're like certain things that you could just break this up into bigger chunks and it would feel better. It would feel smoother, you know what I mean?
Right.
So that's my take on the Dragon Prince. Really lovely show. Also, I should point out it's similar to Into the Spider-Verse in terms of like the frame rate of like the character movement is real like stuttery, I guess. But I actually basically don't even notice it. I don't even know why. When I watched the trailers initially, I was like, oh, that looks kind of real. I don't know if I want to watch that. But since I've watched it, I hardly even have noticed it. You can't even really tell. Well, at least I can't. So it works great. So I wouldn't worry about that if that was a reason you weren't watching like me. And then some movies I've watched. I watched You Were Never Really Here with Joaquin Phoenix. That came out 2 years ago now, or maybe 1.5 years ago, something like that. I feel like it was an Oscar contender, but it wasn't actually nominated. But it was one of those movies that was talked about. So it must have been released like very early 2018, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was really hard to describe. For all of these movies, you can check out my Letterboxd for my review. They're real close. But basically, it was just really like psychologically very like wacky, I guess. Or not wacky, but like intense. Like it just moves with your head. It like moves your head around and makes you just kind of question what's happening. And I love that the way the story is told, it's really subtle. And it's not just like giving you all the information you need. You actually will pick up then all the information you need through the storytelling, and I don't know, I think that's just done really well. I don't know, there's not much else to say with it. It's like an enjoyable movie. I liked it, but it's not like groundbreaking for me anyway. And another one was Leave No Trace, which again wasn't very groundbreaking.
Yeah.
but was enjoyable, and it was good. Like, it was good. Leave No Trace. I wouldn't spend a lot of money on it. Like, it was a 99-cent rental, so I just got it. But yeah, I enjoyed it. This one's a bit of a hot take. Last night, while I was in my home in Christchurch with a lovely surround sound, I finally watched Wonder Woman. Funnily enough, this one was on sale on iTunes, so I was like, oh yeah, I'll get that, $10. And then 2 days later, I get an email from Netflix. We just added Wonder Woman. I was like, oh gosh. But anyway, I don't regret purchasing it, but I do not think it is a good movie. And this, have you seen it?
No.
When it came out, it was like so hyped up. It was like, this is groundbreaking. This is amazing. This is what comic book movies should be. And I'm not saying it's bad, but it's not good. It's definitely not what people say it is. And I'd heard all the complaints beforehand that the third act is just a big CGI whatever. Like, which, it happens in almost all comic book movies anyway. And so I saw that coming. Obviously, I knew that was happening. And that's not even what I'm talking about when I say it's not good. The entire, like, first act, which takes place on, like, this Amazon island, whatever it's called, the dialogue is so cringy, I found. And also the action is way, like, overdone. And throughout the whole movie, the cinematography and the action is really overindulgent. It just, like, there's so much, like, slow motion, like, epic moments and stuff. But, like, there's so much of it that none of those moments feel epic. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it just happens too much, and they just did it basically with every large movement. And they're just like, oh, put it in slow-mo and put all this crazy effects. And there's one shot in the movie which is on its side, like it's sideways.
Yeah.
And there's literally no motivation for that. There's no reason for it to be like that.
Yeah.
It's not like there's a really cool shot in Black Panther that starts upside down and the camera like rotates around and it comes back and it shows, what's his face? Killmonger, like taking the throne or walking up to the throne or something like that. That scene, that like looks real cool, and it's like it turns all the way around so you still see it. And then also it's kind of like representing how like the tide is turning with this guy coming in and taking the throne kind of thing. So like it's a motivated shot.
Yeah.
And it looks cool. Whereas this shot, it was on its side. It didn't move. It didn't even look cool, if you ask me. It was just because she was on a horse, like going down a really long track, and so they just, we'll see more track if we put it sideways, I guess. I don't know. There's no point. It was dumb. Even my dad asked me, like, at the end of the movie, he was like, why was that sideways shot? And I was like, I don't know. And if my dad notices it, that means it's bad. That means it should not be there.
Yeah.
Like, wow. I feel like I'm ranting a lot about this movie, but I don't hate the movie. I don't hate the movie. I actually was just hugely disappointed because I really wanted to like it.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I want there to be good DC movies. I want to actually enjoy this.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to, and it's like,
no, can't do it.
And I just couldn't. There's some cool moments. There's some cool stuff in it, but overall,
What did you give it? Like 5-star rating?
it was a 2.5 for me. 2.5 for me means it's not a good movie, but there's some stuff in it that I like, basically.
Okay.
So yeah, that's how I felt. I also felt I was actually kind of surprised that the character of Diana was actually a bit more sexualized than I anticipated. Because I thought that it was like going to be this like thing about, you know, empowering women and whatever.
Yeah, like a very feminist charge.
I guess. And I guess it's done respectfully, I guess, but it's like unnecessary, I felt. Because it's like, you should be telling a woman like, you can be strong and whatever, but then, you're also a sex object, you know? Which, I mean, it's not quite that bad. It's not like Transformers bad. But it's like, they're just scenes and moments that didn't need to happen, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm sure plenty of people disagree, but that's just me.
That's just the way it is.
Yeah, yeah.
People are going to disagree.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's my hot take. Wonder Woman, no good.
All
So
right.
it just leaves me thinking like, well, now there's legitimately like, because I used to have this shining hope in my head that DC can make good movies. They made a good movie with Wonder Woman, although I haven't seen it. I used to say that because I assumed it was good because everyone said it was good. I never heard anyone say anything bad about it except for that third act.
Yeah.
Which most people just gloss over, and it's horrendously bad. And the twist with the villain as well, like, it's dumb because like a twist isn't a twist unless it makes sense. It's not a good twist unless it makes sense. Just because it's a shock, like it happens in every Disney movie. Basically, there's this massive shock because this villain turned out to be this person or whatever. And it's just like, but like if just because it's shocking doesn't mean it's a good twist.
Yeah.
So
Now You See Me 2 is a good example. Well, not... Now
you see me the first one, right? Isn't it?
No, the second one. The second one's twist is worse, I reckon.
Is it?
Yeah, cause
Man, I honestly can't even remember that movie. I hate it so much.
Now You See Me 2 is bad.
It's so bad.
It's also bad because they didn't even do good job on the title, man. It should have been Now You Don't, which I've talked about before.
That would have got like no attention. Like everyone's like, "What the hell is No You Don't?"
No,
now you don't.
They could have gone Now You See Me 2 and then gone : Now You Don't.
That would have just been worse.
They should have done that.
It should have been 2 Now, 2 See Me.
They should have.
Okay.
They should have done that. All right.
I agree. Now You Don't. It's a way better title, but marketing.
Yeah.
In terms of marketing,
Well, why can't they go
sense.
Now You See Me 2, Now You Don't?
Because
it's
that doesn't
like,
make sense.
Or
in
the
a title.
byline.
It shouldn't have the 2 in it at least. It could be called Now You See Me, Now You Don't.
Ah, okay. All right.
That'd be slightly better.
Yeah.
I guess. But also, that's a really long
Dude,
title.
that would have gotten for me like it'd probably be like a 1-star, 2-star for me, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
at the moment, how it is,
Yeah.
it probably would have got an entire star for that.
For the title,
For if
really.
they had Now You Don't, I would have been like 1 star.
I don't
for
think-
Now You Don't
I think if the filmmakers were smart enough to title it with that title, they also would have been smart enough
Would
to
have
make a
made a
good
bit of-
movie.
Yeah.
So the only thing I enjoyed about that was Daniel Radcliffe. He was amazing in that. But
Yeah.
that's all there is.
All right. Is it my turn?
No, because I haven't talked about what I'm gonna do.
Oh my god. Hurry up, Ben. Stop rambling.
And funnily enough, I haven't even thought about it.
Yeah.
So maybe I should skip over this time. Oh wait, no. Another thing I did, I went to Time Zone and I got this Slinky. I don't know if you can hear it.
For those who can't see, which is everyone, because we only do an audio
What?
version.
You can't hear it.
Ben's moving a Slinky right next to a mic. So
What
he's
else would that sound like?
playing with a Slinky.
Anyway, I've been playing with this all night. Actually, basically since I got it, like 2 days ago, I've been playing with it. I don't know why, but Slinkies are really fun to play with,
Yeah.
and I don't know why.
You're a Slinky boy, Ben?
I don't know
Just say yes.
if that means something else.
Nope.
So I'm gonna say.
Not that I know of.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I have an Urban Dictionary that maybe we should Urban
you probably
Dictionary.
should. So yeah, I got this at Time Zone for 100 tickets. Bit of a rip-off, but I mean,
But it's a Slinky.
it's a Slinky. It's really fun. What I want to watch, I watched Leave No Trace, so I can tick that off. Oh, actually, these things I mentioned all of these last week. Cargo Annihilation, Leaving Neverland. I actually said last time I was going to watch it, and then I ran out of time. So I will watch that, probably.
Yep.
I said I was going to watch Get Out. I'm going to watch Get Out, and then I'm going to watch Us. If I'm
yeah,
not too scared by if I enjoy Get Out, then I'll go see Us. If I think Get Out is too much, which I don't think it is, because from what I've heard, it's probably not. Then I won't. But anyway. But one thing I actually do want to watch that I saw was a 99-cent rental on iTunes is Upgrade, which came out last year, and I've heard really fantastic things about this film.
I think I've heard good things about this film as well, and I want to see it.
And I want to see it. So I'm going to do that. And then at some point in my life, I might bother to watch the second season of Runaways, which is a Marvel TV show on Hulu, which is out. I think it's on Neon here in New Zealand, which is why I can't be bothered watching it, because Neon's trash. Also, the first season was fine. It was enjoyable for some parts, but also really boring for some parts. So I probably won't actually do that. It was on my list, so I just I'll mention it.
All right.
Go ahead, Matt.
All right. So I finally finished my giant list of films that I wanted to see.
Really?
Are you proud of me, Ben?
I'm real proud.
All right. So these are the films that I managed to watch. All right, here we go. The first one was Boy Erased, which I gave 3.5 stars. I thought it was quite good. I was a little bit disappointed. It wasn't as good as I thought it was going to be. No, just a really important film about conversion therapy. How conversion therapy is still legal, I have no idea. It's basically torture.
Yeah.
But that's a topic for another podcast, I guess. Annihilation, I gave it also 3.5 stars.
We did watch. Oh, good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Again, in a genre that in a genre I'm usually not a big fan of.
Okay.
As in just sci-fi.
Oh, really?
Not really
Okay.
a genre I go with, but no, surprised me with it was entertaining, it was engaging.
So you watched that on Netflix, did you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Boy Erased, I assume you saw in a cinema, didn't you?
What's that?
You saw Boy Erased in a cinema?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's out now?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Because I didn't know when it was coming out.
Next, The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
Oh.
1920.
Are you watching a classic every week? Is that what you're trying to do? Because then last week you watched was it 4 weeks ago that you watched the
Battleship Potemkin?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I had a lot of old sort of classics that I had on my list.
Yeah.
Next, Persona, which is a Swedish film.
Haven't heard of it.
Made a terrible mistake. Did not have subtitles on it, so that was a mistake. Seven Samurai, 4 stars. That was just amazing, brilliant. Bad Times at the El Royale. Again, that 4 stars. I really liked it. I liked how they had three different sort of, not three, they had multiple intertwining stories. So I reckon that was really cool how they did that. And then finally, Tropic Thunder, which I gave 3 stars. Really nice parody film, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Sort of making fun of the whole Hollywood system. Yeah, so that was just really entertaining, sort of put a smile on my face. I need to watch more comedies. That's something I've realized. I haven't watched enough comedies, and I think I need that in my life. I need to laugh a bit more, and hopefully some comedies can do that for me. Yeah, so that's all the stuff that I have watched, and then I've just made a giant ass watch list again. But the 2 major ones that are on there that I'm going to see, Vice and Green Book.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to see them, and then I can talk about them in 2 weeks' time.
Are they still in theaters? I know Green Book is somewhere.
Yeah.
But I don't think Vice is.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do.
You'll find it somewhere.
I'll find it somewhere. I'll work it out. I'm resourceful when I need to be.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, and so that's that.
Well then, the next segment of the podcast then is the crunchy comments section, where we read all of your lovely, lovely comments. First comment this week comes from Iwan, who says, he gave us his casting for the Fantastic Four.
Lovely.
Which is great. Yeah, go back and listen to that episode if you haven't. So he agreed with you. Was it you or Seb who's saying John Krasinski for Reed Richards?
I believe that was Seb.
That was Seb. Yeah, and Emily Blunt for Susan Storm, which I agree it's a really good pick. I mean, it could be really good. And then, I don't know who this is. Sam Claflin. Do you know who that is?
No.
for Johnny Storm or Human Torch. I don't know who that is.
Don't know who that is.
We should find out.
Yeah, probably should. And then also casted David Harbour as
being Grim.
/ The Thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would do that though, because he's just done Hellboy, and it
Yeah.
I guess it's a similar kind of.
they're hypothetical casts, aren't
Yeah, I know.
they?
But I don't know if he fits personally. I don't see it,
Don't see it?
because even in the Hellboy trailer, I thought he. Then again, I don't know really anything about Hellboy, but I thought even then he was just he didn't fit for me, just because he felt like I was just watching David Harbour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He didn't feel like he was his own character.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah. And so then we also have a comment from Sabretooth War.
Mm-hmm. On Twitch.
On Twitch. Hello.
Well, hello to you.
Hello to you too.
Thanks for
very
listening.
much for listening. If you're still there, that's dope. Thanks for listening so much. We appreciate it more than you could ever believe.
Yeah, and if you want to listen on Twitch, we go live at roughly 8 o'clock on every second Sunday night.
New Zealand Standard
New Zealand time, that is, yeah.
I mean, daylight saving time, but it's, you know what I mean, New Zealand time.
Yeah, use the World Time Buddy app. That's a great one. I highly recommend.
I usually just Google.
Yeah.
It's what time is it in...
Nah, because World Time Buddy's great because you can look ahead and you can go with
you can work out what time, it's like a thingamabobby.
Yeah, it's like a thingamabobby.
Yeah. Table, that's the word.
Yeah. And so you can go along and you see this time lines up with that time. So
that's clever.
At 8 o'clock it'll be
I might have
5
used
o'clock
that
or whatever.
at one point.
It's great. It's a website and app. It's great. Highly recommend.
Stuff. Yeah.
Highly recommend.
Highly recommend.
Yeah.
And then the last comment is from Kana Malone. He says, "To now, to see me, fucking great," via Facebook Messenger to the editor.
Yeah, well, you should be using Twitch, Kana. What are you messaging Tash for independently, man? Anyway, but thank you for that comment. I appreciate that, I appreciate that somebody appreciates my humor. You know what I mean?
I mean, also just the fact, I think this is the most comments we've ever had on
in a long
comment
time.
section.
In a long time.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day we were getting a lot of people on Twitch. You guys should go on Twitch, man.
Yeah, listen to all
it's slightly less great quality, I think, because it's over Discord and whatever. Well, one day we'll get there where it sounds good on Twitch. But if you want to hear it live and hear way more stuff ups, and all that goodness that you will only hear live.
Yes. Also, a shout out to our Patreon supporter, Morgan Bridge. Thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon. Yes, if you want to support us on Patreon, you can do so. We have our own Patreon page. Any money that is pledged to us on Patreon is put straight back into the business
to buy more Slinkies.
To buy more Slinkies.
Just kidding. We won't do that.
No, to buy better equipment, which will result in better content for you guys. So it's a win-win. However, if you're broke, and you can't support us that way, you can also support us via liking us on Facebook, which we recently actually reached 100 likes on. So thank you guys so much for that. As well as we are also on YouTube, Twitter, and what else are we on again? I'm missing one. Ambit. Yeah. So as well as all those social medias, share us around. Tell us about us to your friends. Share us around. Yeah, go give us some love. Thank you guys so much. That's the end of this week's podcast. I've been Matt.
And I've been having a lot of fun with this Slinky.
And that's been. Goodbye.